circulating all night long. So again, just if you take a seat, we'll get started. Lucinda, you want to come up here and make a quick little announcement?
Good evening, buenas noches. Si alguien ocupa intérprete, el equipo está en la entrada. If anybody needs an interpreter or knows of somebody that does, the equipment is in the entrance. Thank you, gracias.
Good evening, everybody. Out of here. Okay, here. It's happening already, Scott. Here we go. I'm Ian Perry, Assistant Principal of DP. I oversee your wonderful seniors, juniors, and our activities in athletics. So it means I get to hang out with the one and only Scotty G all the time. Can we give Lucinda a round of applause really quick for interpreting tonight? There she is right in the back. Thank you. So yes, I'm Ian Perry. That's Scotty G. Sienna is back there in the cage area over there selling Charger gear like crazy right now. So that's basically your activities. Sienna, where's Debbie Landis? I forgot Debbie Landis. How did I do that? Debbie Landis, where are you? There she is. She's outside. See, she's directing parents and families. We have a large team, and just to make sure that everything happens right, and we do right by your seniors because they're a great class, and we want to make sure that they have a fantastic senior year. So, anyways, that's our team. And thank you, Scott. Thank you. There's us having fun. We do have a lot of fun on this campus. Okay. And yeah, so we're going to share a lot of information tonight. Lots of information. Lots of dates and times and names and just bunches of things. All of this stuff that we're going to share, however, is available to you on the website under the Senior Class Information tab. So if you go to the website, you go to Students. Under Students, there's a little link there. It says Senior Class Information, Class of 2024. All of the information we're going to share tonight is there, like upcoming events and how to buy a yearbook and how to buy a cap and gown and how to buy a graduation light. All of that stuff is there. So if you missed something tonight, please make sure you go check that out, or just check it out because it's a good thing to hang on the fridge. Is all the upcoming events that are coming up as we get closer and closer to the big day, June 13th, when they finally walk across that stage. So we're here tonight to kind of just share all of the things and all of the steps that go into that and all of the fun that will eventually be going into that as well for our seniors and how we make that happen. Oh, I forgot one final note at the bottom here. I know it's very easy to swipe or delete a parent square, okay? Because I do it, all right? I know that we send you a lot of communication over the last 4 years, okay? But I would highly recommend that throughout the next few months, that if you get a parent square from DP or from me, that you open it and you at least try to look at it, because it probably has something very important about seniors or deadlines or something that you don't want to miss. So please just just a quick reminder, just parent squares are the way that we communicate with you. So please just make sure I get it. Just got to get out of that habit of like, oh, all right, maybe tomorrow, all right? Just make sure that you're reading those, as that is our primary source or way of communicating with you.
We're going to do basic logistics.
All right.
Just basic logistics tonight. We have a big presentation. We're going to be talking about college. We're going to be talking about all the things that are happening at the end of the year. That hallway right underneath the DP, first door on the right is the men's bathroom. The second door on the right is the women's bathroom. There is a water fountain right outside that room, also to the left. I know that sometimes that's kind of good to just kind of know in general. All of the tables will be here at the end of the night, open and be selling, along with the student store, which is outside to the right with all of the different senior gear that you can get.
There we go. All right, so now, and real quick before I continue, other information. I told your seniors this today. my job is the seniors for the next like months, okay? That's what my job is really. Like, I am your go-to guy. So if you're like, hey, I have a question about this, just email me, give me a call. 4507 is my extension, okay? I'm always available, happy to answer your questions. I'm not gonna be like, oh, that's on the website, just go look, okay? I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna say, please, like, what do you need? How can I help you? You know, same with Scotty and Debbie and Sienna, we are all here to make the next months super fun for your seniors and also a super easy transition for you as they go on to graduation. So, next up, I get to introduce our amazing, I can't talk now, amazing College and Career Center, Natalie Douglas.
Thank you, College and Career Counselor, the whole center. Hi everybody, I am Natalie Douglas, the College and Career Counselor. I have gotten the opportunity to work with a lot of your students. They are amazing and I've been really excited to tell them, guide them through these next steps after high school. So, Santa Barbara City College, as you all hopefully know, they have the Promise program, which means your student can go to Santa Barbara City College for 2 years absolutely free. Now, you may be saying to yourself, they're not going to go to City College, they really want to go to XYZ. Totally get it, absolutely fair. However, we do really highly recommend that they start the process and they get signed up for SBCC because they can just drop the classes to no hardship, but they get priority registration. So, by completing these steps, which they can do steps 1 through 4, now, I have this in flyer form, in English and Spanish, in the back there that you can pick up. But, like I said, our students get priority registration. So those of you that have been in college, right, you know how that's a big deal. How you can sign up for the classes that you want to have a really great schedule. And so, if they do plan on going to a 4-year, and then they just drop the classes and nothing happens. There's no penalty, there's no cost, but say the financial aid they were hoping to get falls through. A family member gets sick, or they just have a real fear of homesickness or something like that. They have these classes locked in, ready to go, and they're not having to start from scratch and pick classes from what's left, right? So again, we really encourage your students, and please encourage them to just sign up. Sign up for these classes. It does not take very long. This way they can have it locked in and they have a really great cushion to fall back on just in case those 4-year college plans fall through. All right. So, for those of you still also going to college, how do we pay for it, right? In order to receive any sort of financial support, scholarships, grants, the Santa Barbara City College Promise program, your student and you has to complete one of these applications. So if your student has a social security number, they fill out the FAFSA. And if they don't have one, they fill out the California Dream Act. But this is the only way. So if you're saying, oh, we're not going to fill it out, they're going to get a scholarship. They're not getting a scholarship unless they fill this out. Okay? I know there have been a lot of issues with these applications. So if your student and you have completed it, and you have an email saying it's pending, you're good to go. Everybody in America, their students, it's still pending. None of that information is getting sent out to colleges until mid-March. TBD, mid-March. We'll see how that goes. But also saying that we don't want to wait, because as soon as these start getting sent out to schools, they're sending out those financial aid, the scholarships, the grants, they're sending those out to the students. And guess what? When they're out of money, they're out of money, right? As soon as they, so maybe you're really great eligible for a Pell Grant or something, and you wait until April, there might not be much left to get out. So it's really important that you get those done this month. March is Friday, so, this week, next week, really crunch time to get these done. I'm struggling. I'm not sure how to fill those out. Guess what, guys? We've got a lot of opportunity after school for you to come in and get help. People that can sit with you one-on-one and walk you through the entire process.
We have them tonight. We just had it in our College and Career Center here. We have them at Santa Barbara High School and San Marcos most weeks. So utilize this, right? You don't have to do this on your own. Come on in and we will help you. Professionals will help you get this all finished up. And so please utilize this. It's there for you. Also, I get a ton of parents and students asking what scholarships are available, what jobs are available, what community service options are available. I post this on Instagram. Please follow the Instagram. It is the best way to get the information as quickly as possible, right? From scholarships to career talks to college visits, all of that stuff, especially if you have younger students as well. This is the hub to get all that information. Also, one more thing, I know Sky G's going to talk about it, but community service hours. I have a list of students who have not finished their community service hours. Wondering if your student's on it? Come back there and we'll find out.
Hey, let's give her a hand. We're so happy that we have a career and college counselor here. And then I would just say on top of the scholarships, there's a ton of untapped money that goes unclaimed every year because people don't apply for scholarships. So please don't allow money to be the reason that you're not going to college. The money can be used for several things. So very often it is money that can be used for spending money, living expenses, and other things. So don't think it's just specifically for college. I'm going to talk a little bit about the four-year college situation. So how many of you guys are first-year senior parents? First-year senior parents. Okay. So some of you who aren't first-year kind of know if you send your student away, that there's a lot of things that you need to be paying attention to. But the number one thing you need to be paying attention to is the fact that the colleges are not talking to you. They are talking to your sons and daughters. And they are doing it not on Instagram and not on Facebook, but they're doing it in what they call their college portal. So your sons and daughters, as soon as they apply to a four-year school, they create a portal. Same thing is true with Santa Barbara City College. The communication happens that way. So our sons and daughters are very used to social media. They're very much not used to liking to use email. They're not liking to use portals. But things are being requested, things are being asked for, and things are being denied, and students are losing their acceptances because they are not checking that portal. Okay? They're waiting for a transcript. I didn't know they were waiting for a transcript, and then all of a sudden they'll come into my office and be like, how come I got a letter saying that they took away my acceptance? Well, because you never sent them a transcript. Well, they didn't ask for it. It's like, really? Let's look in your portal. Like 17 requests for a transcript, you didn't read one of them. So please be aware that that is how they're communicating. It is challenging because every school they apply to has their own portal. So you're watching not just one portal, but you're paying attention to several portals. Some of the portals are attached to emails, and so you'll get an email saying, hey, you have some information in your portal. Kids like, oh, that must be like spam, and so like they just like erase that, and it's like, oh, it's like it didn't even come, even though it was a nice reminder. So please be aware of that, please be paying attention to that, please be working with your sons and daughters on the fact they need to be doing that. If they have not yet, and I've talked with the seniors about this, if they have not yet created a professional, appropriate email address, now is the time to do that. So I love my mom at gmail.com is not the way to go. And that's a nice one. There are some really inappropriate ones. So your email address should be professional, and theirs should be professional too. That is the first thing that is being seen by jobs, companies, schools, scholarships. So please make sure that they're updating what they're using as their email address. Deadlines. So nice at DP. Every deadline we have is not even a deadline. Colleges, deadlines are deadlines. They seriously don't even open things, and they seriously just delete you from their system if you don't hit a deadline. So they have enough people applying, they have enough students accepting where they're going, that they don't have any time or care about the students that are not making this a priority. So when they say that you need to own and decide by May 1st where you're going, they mean that you need to decide and know where you're going by May 1st. And if you decide on May 2nd and you forgot to hit send or you didn't send anything in, they just went to the next person and your spot's already been filled. Okay? Also, how many of you have heard from your kids that senior grades don't matter? Anybody's telling you that? Anybody saying that? Let's hope that that myth is gone. That's been a big myth that, oh, I'm in, I'm good. Your senior grades matter. Colleges are going to be looking at your final transcript. In the acceptance letter, they very often will designate what they're expecting. But normally what they're expecting is that your senior grades just match what your grades have been. So if they accepted you as a B student, they're expecting Bs. They're not all of a sudden expecting As. They're definitely not expecting Ds. And they accepted you as an A and B student, they're probably not accepting Cs, even though Cs are okay. But a D in one class can eliminate your acceptance. So they may be waiting for you, like you may be taking this hard class and all of a sudden say, well, I don't need it for graduation, what's the big deal? They're looking at that grade comes in, they were expecting that grade to be a C or better, it's not a C or better, you've just been denied. So please just make sure you're encouraging your students to be continuing to be the students that they are. They haven't crossed the finish line, they're actually just starting, so please keep on going on that. The dropout rate. So I talk about this a lot. I just want to encourage you as parents that college is an investment. Okay, you're investing in your sons and daughters in going. Quitting should not be one of the options. I would really encourage you to have the conversation. Homesickness happens. Real illness happens. Real illness is not the same as homesickness. So obviously if you have a real illness, that's a different situation and you'll be working with the colleges on that. But students get really homesick and they don't know that they're going to be homesick. So just be prepared for that. Please be encouraging them to stay. My rule of thumb is, if you're going to go to a four-year college, you need to complete the full first year. They're very tempted in the beginning to just want to be able to come home. There's a lot of chances to come home in that first semester. Because you got Thanksgiving, a lot of kids come home for homecoming because it's their first homecoming that they're away, so that's another one that they come home for. Then they come home for Christmas, so like they've been home so much that they get used to being home, or they get used to people leaving. Send them back for the second semester. Don't let them convince you that it's not the right fit. Finish your investment. If at the end of the first full year, they are still not feeling connected to the school and feeling like that's the right place to be, then you can start looking at other choices and other options. There are schools that will accept second-year students in different ways. They can obviously always come back and go to City College and then restart the process. But I'm just going to really just encourage you to have that conversation ahead of time, that this is the plan, and this is the investment, and this is what we're going with. And again, homesickness is not the same as real sickness. If you have a real sickness, you have to deal with that. And again, if it is a real sickness with a medical issue, the school is going to work with you. They're not just going to throw you away. They're going to accept the fact that you may need a medical leave, and that's very different than I need a home sickness leave. Housing. Some of you, when you're applying for your schools, are applying for housing. Some of the schools you're applying to have a completely separate application for housing. You don't want to wait for you to decide where you're going to school to then decide that you want housing. There won't be any housing left. So you want to basically say, you're going to school, we're going to pay the fee for the housing to hold your spot. They usually keep a very small portion of it, and the rest of it's refundable. But don't wait. Make sure that you will know, did we fill out housing forms when we filled out the application? It's going to be very obvious. They talk about dorms, they talk about off-campus, they talk about on-campus. Did they do that? If they didn't do that, then there's probably a separate application for housing for that school, and you need to make sure that you take care of that. Again, if you wait till you decide that that's the school you're going to, you probably don't have housing. So again, something to really pay attention to overall. We as counselors here are your resource. If you don't know or you're not getting the information you want, please call us, please work with us. We want to know what you don't know. We don't know what information you're getting and what you're not getting. So the entire counseling staff is here to serve you. We want to send you off feeling confident and knowing what's going on. So please make sure you get in touch with us and keep us posted. All right? So again, graduation requirements, easier and easier. So the best part about the block system is it's almost impossible to not get 220 credits. So we have more mid-year grads and early grads than ever before because we're on the block system because of the number of classes you can take. But you do need 220 credits. They need to be the correct 220 credits. At this point, you should know whether or not your sons and daughters are on track or not. If you feel uncertain, my guess is that you feel uncertain because they've gotten D's and F's and you might want to check. If they've always gotten A's, B's, and C's, you are probably fine, and that's probably why you don't have a phone call because they're on track to graduate. 45 hours of community service, like Ms. Douglas said, there's 120 of them that we told them today that aren't done yet with their 45 hours. So again, that's new. This is the last year for 45. It's going back to 60 because of COVID, so we dropped it down to 45. It will be going back up, but this class is going to be required to do 45. We have a ton of opportunities on campus for students to earn those hours. So if your student is struggling to get those hours, please contact the counselor. We want you to know that both Ms. Douglas and Ms. Balfour Ritchie, who work in the career and college counseling, they are calling in your sons and daughters and asking for their hours, and they're also helping them find places to do their hours. Several of them are doing it within the school day here because they have free periods where they can be doing it. So it is an opportunity. Community service award deadline is May 15th. They need to have 150 or more hours to get that community service award. Mr. Perry will talk a little bit more about how we're going to be honoring that this year. And again, if you don't know and you can't figure out what you're supposed to look for on the portal or on Aries, just contact us. We're happy to talk you through any of the things that you're wondering, anything that you feel like you're not getting. That's what we're here for, so please let us do that. Transcripts, again, ordering after graduation. There will be something when they pick up their diploma that tells them how to order a transcript. You can order a transcript at any time online and say to be sent after final grades. But you do need to send the final transcript. That's the only one that you will have to pay for. We will be talking about that to the students several times about sending this transcript. Okay, and how to send it. Again, when they cross the stage, they're going to get this beautiful case. It's going to be empty because we're not giving them diplomas while they're throwing things all around on the field. They will come back the next day and physically pick up their diploma. When they pick up their diploma, there'll be a little slip of paper attached to it that says, how do I order my final transcript? That is the only one that you will have to pay. It's an official final transcript that you need to send to your final choice of schools. It's $7 to send it. We get that done. Tells you how to do it here. Again, we'll send you that information on a continual basis. You know, just in general, just remember, it's your student. So it's how they are, who they are. Let them be individuals. Let them do what's best for them. Work with them with where they're at and who they are. Everybody has a different situation, so I'm never going to just kind of say that there's one way to handle everything. So if you're just feeling stuck and caught and trying to figure out how to get through something that's going on right now, they're becoming adults. Some of them are already adults. If you need some help or assistance with kind of processing that change, again, that's why we're here. We're here to help you. We're here to serve with you. We want to kind of help with your son or daughter, so please let us do it. And you know, the no one rule applies. It's just like I just don't believe in that. Give me your story. Give me your situation. Let's talk about it. Let's come up with what the story is that's going to work best for you and your family. It's not just like, this is how they said to do it, so I have to do it this way. It's like, there's always other ways to be handling things and do things. So just please, it's always about comfort level. It's about your own value system, like what you do, what you don't do. I'm sure every one of you has a different rule about social media, and then every one of you has a different rule in your home about technology. The reason that is because technology and social media came with no directions. So basically they put it upon parents to come up with, how do I set limits on this? How do I use this appropriately? How do I use it inappropriately? But there is no rule book on social media, and there's no rule book on technology. The rule book is your rule book. So it doesn't matter what everybody else is doing. It matters what's going on in your own house and in your home. So that's what I just want to kind of encourage you, that you just need to kind of realize that. Final stretch. We're just about done with what's going on, everything that's happening. Mr. Barry's going to talk about discipline. We're going to talk about the senior contract. And we're going to talk about the permission form that kind of exists. So I am going to pass that back on to Mr. Perry right now.
Thank you, Scotty. Appreciate it. Give me a round of applause for Scotty. Thank you. So yes, I get the fun job of being assistant principal and talking to you about discipline and all the things that your son or daughters can't do, which will prevent them from having all the fun at the end of the year. So we're going to go through the senior contract. All the students saw this today, and also the senior's contract was in the welcome packet that you filled out at the beginning of the year. So every senior and every senior parent should have signed this contract already. I went through the numbers the other day. I think we were at 92% have actually filled this out and done it. So you've probably already done it. If you haven't, I will hunt you down and find you and get you to sign it, okay, before graduation and grad week and all that kind of stuff. So I will get in contact with your senior about that. But it includes things like discipline, participating in graduation and grad week activities and those kinds of things, and what we need to do to get to there. So we will talk about that, as well as our grad week activities permission form as well. So, like I said, I reviewed these exact same slides with your seniors today during second period, so they heard the exact same rules. They know exactly what it takes for them to walk across the stage on June 13th, okay? So, attending the graduation ceremony is a privilege, and it is voluntary. Obviously, they don't have to go. We want them to go, and I told them that today. Like, we want all of them to walk across the stage. That is the goal, right? So they need to follow school rules. They include senior activities, including graduation. Any discipline or suspensions may affect that participation, okay? Obviously, graduation is a big deal, not for just them, but for you, right? It's kind of that finish line for all of the work that you've put in through the 12 years of school and through raising them to be the student and the child that they are, right? And so we don't want to ever aim to take that away from a family, and that's not our aim. So it would have to be a very drastic situation for us to take graduation away, but we want to share it with you so that you know that it is still a possibility, right? Like I said, our goal is that everyone walks across the stage at graduation, every single one of our seniors of the class of 2024. So, you want to tell him an ugly story? He's always got stories. All right, here we go.
Well, because we don't like to take this away. And so it has to be pretty drastic. And so obviously, family comes into town, everybody's ready for things to happen. And just, not last year, the year before that, we had a situation where one of the students showed up inebriated at graduation. So their entire family was physically at graduation. And that student did not walk. We had to call the parents. Everybody had to leave out of the stadium. So that conversation needs to be real for all of you. They have to remember that that day, as much as it is sort of about them, it's about all of you and their family and their grandparents and their aunts and uncles and everybody else who came. So a little pre-reminder the week of about activities and kind of like before they're leaving to go and do things. Every voice matters. Don't regret, I knew I should have said something, I felt like something bad was going to happen, and I should have said, please remember to make good choices. It's a simple statement like that. You know, be safe, have fun. Please be safe. Please remember what's being safe. Like, just go over that with them. Like, make sure that they can repeat to you, that they understand what being safe and having fun is, so that you're not assuming they know what that means. So that's my words of advice.
Thank you, Scotty. So, next up, senior contract was included, like I said, in the registration packet. We'll be hunting down those people that have not completed it yet to get the signature on that, so they are able to participate in both the grad week activities as well as graduation. All right, so as we were kind of talking about already, right, must maintain appropriate behavior at any school activity. I talked to your students today, and I'm talking about any school activity. That means after school, like a volleyball game or a lacrosse match or whatever, right? Like, just being a good DP student at any school activity. That's in school periods 1 through 4, and then after at different events, including our grad week activities. This is the big one that I want to make sure that we touch on, and I explained very thoroughly today, and I did that as well with your seniors. You must maintain good attendance and arrive to class on time. Now, the on-time portion, I stress that to them because I want them to be in class on time, right? Okay? But that's not as big as the attendance piece of this, okay? And so you can see there it says 18 or more period truancies starting March 5th, which is Tuesday, okay, will affect your participation in senior activities. So, 18 or more period truancies, what does that mean? A period truancy means I missed a period, not I missed a day. It's not 18 days, it's 18 periods. So, if I miss one period, if I miss first period or second period, that would be one period truancy, okay? So, they're all starting with a clean slate on Tuesday, essentially. We're not going to worry about the attendance in the past. Obviously, we wanted them to be at school, but we can't change anything about that, okay? But moving forward, this is our way of encouraging our seniors to complete the final stretch of school. Because if they're not in school, what happens to their grades? They go down. What happens to their college acceptance? Things happen to that, right? What happens to their graduation credits, those kind of things? It's important to be in school, okay? And so we want to stress that to them. So the admin team sits down every year and we come up with this number, and it's usually around 18, 20, somewhere in there. And this year it's 18 more period truancies starting March 5th. What this means for your senior, and what I told them, is it means that they should be checking their attendance every day. Checking your attendance every day is as easy to do as check your grades on Aries. You go to Aries and they click on attendance, and it shows them their attendance and what they got marked in the classes, right? What you don't want to have is you don't want to have a U. A U means unexcused, and that would be a truancy, okay? So U's, if you get 18 U's, what's the other code you can't have? I can't remember what the letter is. It's the other one, the 30 minutes or the F, that one. U's or F's, sorry. So a U code or an F code is what we call an unexcused absence. If you get 18 or more of those, from now up until prom or up until grad week, your student will not be allowed to attend those activities. So we monitor this weekly, we run the report. I will share with them, like, hey, watch out, you have this many now, right? Make sure that you're keeping track of your attendance and you're showing up to school. How you can help your student: encourage them, number one, to check their attendance, right? But also, number two, go to school, okay? And number three, if they are missing school, have a reason to call them out. Call the attendance office and let them know, hey, they missed school because they had a doctor's appointment, or they missed school because they were sick, or they missed school because of this, right? You have 3 days, 3 school days. So if I miss on Friday, I have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday to clear an absence. So it sits as an A, as an absent for 3 days. So you have 3 days to call into the attendance office and say, hey, they were really sick. That's not why they were at school. That's why they weren't at school. Please change the code. No problem. Okay. It gets changed to a excused to an E, and it doesn't show up when we run this report. Okay. So my sad story about this is, and I tell seniors all the time, like I told them last year, and I told them again this year, is that we don't, this isn't just like an empty threat. I know it's like, oh, it's an empty threat because we're we're just seniors, they're gonna let us go, it's fine. No, like, we won't let you go. This is the expectation, and you need to meet it. Now, obviously, we understand there's all types of different situations, and chronic illness, and all these types of things, family vacations, all that stuff. The biggest thing is that you are in communication with us about what is going on. Call the attendance office, call myself, call the counselor, call somebody and let them know what's happening, okay? But my sad story about this is we did have a student last year who showed up, this is blank, you ready to go on the bus? And unfortunately, I notified that student they weren't allowed to go to grad week activities. And that student still thought they were allowed to go, and I had to tell them, sorry, you don't get to go. So it's a real line. We draw it, it's a real line, it's not a line in the sand, it's a line in concrete, they can't cross it. And they know it, and I talked to them about it today, it's in the senior contract, and it's advertised to them multiple times, okay?
Mr. Murray, why did they think they could go? Because they had what?
What do you mean?
They bought a ticket.
Yeah, they did. They already bought a ticket. So, I'm ready. Oh, excuse me. I apologize. I didn't change that number. My fault. That's all. I just didn't change it. My bad. No, same day, March 5th. I just didn't change the translation. My apologies. Yeah. So, she was just at, so down here it says, yeah, 28. You can't edit it now, Scott. So, it says 28. My bad. I didn't change it. It's the same. It's March 5th for both people. Okay? My fault. Alright? So anyways, great question. Yes, we start selling tickets soon. If a student buys a ticket, and they're like set to go to grad week, we pay that bill in March. We pay that bill. Like you bought a ticket, you got it, we pay that bill in March. So when you show up in June and you say, all right, yeah, I'm going because I got my ticket, and I say, sorry, you're on the no access list, or you have too many absences, you don't get to go and you don't get a refund. So I tell the students, like, you're investing in yourself. You're saying, yes, I'm going to go to school, I'm not going to miss class, I'm going to buy my grad week ticket, I'm going to buy my prom ticket, I'm going to go to these things and be involved in these activities because I know that I'm going to go to school and not end up not being able to go to these things. So, like I said, help your students. Number one, tell them to go to school, and also tell them, help them clear their absences, right? Okay, you have a quick question about attendance?
You said this happened during second period today?
Yes, it did.
Is this why we got absence notices?
Yes, it is probably. So,
Yes.
yes, working on it. So, I sent in the whole list. So what we did, so second period, we had a big QR code that was up on the thing. We scanned, the students were supposed to scan the QR code, and that tracks it tells us their ID number, and then they fill out the survey about what movie they want on movie night. And so I sent that list in the attendance, so hopefully she cleared all of them, but maybe we didn't get it in time before the parent square went out. I don't know. But, and there's a lot of kids that couldn't log in. It's unfortunate. We need a better system. We're working on it, okay, for those big meetings. Anyways, so next thing, just make sure that students are paying off all their debts for their textbooks, library materials, and iPads. This goes more for like senior checkout, we get to the end of the year. They could be held out of going for grad week activities and getting a transcript or diplomas because they didn't turn in their library books from freshman year. Our librarian is amazing. Miss Magner's awesome. She will work with students. She will help them if they say, hey, I can't find this book, I don't know where it's at. And she'll say, okay, it's worth $40. Work in the library for 2 hours and like stack shelves or clean books or help me out. You know what I mean? And you're good to go. So she's fantastic. She will work with you on that stuff. All right. Scotty talked about this a little bit already, but prohibited from possessing or consuming any controlled substances prior to or during any school activity. So, this is in our student code of conduct. They know this, but we put this in our senior contract. We want to keep them safe. That's our job, and they need to be safe when they're attending our activities, and so we make sure that we reiterate this multiple times. Participation in a senior prank or a ditch day. I really like these ones. The for sale sign is a personal favorite, okay, on the school there. Anyways, the senior prank or ditch day will jeopardize your participation in senior activities. So yes, we discourage them from doing those types of things. The other thing is it kind of goes along with the attendance policy, right? If you miss a Wednesday or a Friday, we have seminar during those days. So that's 5 period truancies just in one day. So we are just encouraging students to go to school and not ditch out so that they complete what they need to complete for graduation. I think this is the last one. You must attend all mandatory graduation practices. During the ceremony, you must behave appropriately and wear a cap and gown, following all the dress code rules. Scotty talked about it a little bit already, but we do have 2 graduation practices that are mandatory for students to attend. The first one is on June 12th, the day before graduation, and the second one is the morning of graduation on June 13th. Am I saying that right? That's correct, yes.
That is correct. How many of you guys have 8th graders who are graduating? Okay, so that tends to be the one thing that we try and kind of like support. So I'm assuming you know whether or not your son or daughter is planning on doing that, so they should prearrange that they're going to be missing the practice because of another graduation ceremony. So again, we're trying to support the family as best we can, but communication is key.
Communication is key, absolutely. Okay, so up here right now is actually the senior contract form. If you want to scan that, if you're like, man, I don't think I filled that out, you can absolutely scan that and do that for us. You probably did, but it's available right there if you want to scan it right now and fill it out to make sure that I'm not hunting your son or daughter down like, hey, you didn't sign this yet, let's take care of this, take this home, make it happen, you know, that kind of thing. So you can do that right now. Go ahead.
Just so you know, if they just decide, like we had some kids say, they're like, what if I don't sign it? It's in place whether they sign it or not. The signature is just a courtesy that they can sign it, that they acknowledge it, but we're telling you all in person, we're telling you all via email and via Parent Square about this, because whether they've signed it or not, they're still being held accountable to the contract.
All right. I get to introduce Asher, one of our amazing yearbook students, to talk about yearbook. Woo! Please give him a round of applause. Thank you.
Alrighty, thank you, Mr. Perry. So I actually get the fun job, Mr. Perry. I get to talk about the yearbook. I am Asher Tucknut, as Mr. Perry has said. I am one of the amazing business managers for the Dos Pueblos yearbook. We are a nationally recognized award-winning yearbook. And so part of my job is I get to tell you today that if you have not already purchased your yearbook, we are telling the plant how many we are ordering. Currently, we're ordering 1,200 books. We have not sold 1,200 books, but if you do not order today, we cannot guarantee that you will be receiving a book. If we tell the plant we want 1,200 books, if by some miracle we sell more than 1,200 books by tomorrow, then you will not get a book. We don't have extras. Last year we had someone come up to us say, hey, I didn't order my book. I'm sorry, I know I'm late, but where can I get one? And we had to say, I'm sorry, but we do not have one for you. So ordering a book now is extremely important. This QR code is where you can order it. The current price is $104.99. Baby ads. So baby ads are a wonderful way that you, and only you, for the senior class, can celebrate your senior. The deadline for ordering an ad and submitting photos and materials so that our wonderful business team can make the ad either for you or put it in the book, that deadline is tomorrow at midnight. And it's unfortunate that it's such short time between tonight and tomorrow, but our deadline for the plant of when we need to give, when we need to give the entire book over to the plant, that's 3 weeks from today, so we need time to get those ads made. Here are some examples. You've got 2 quarter-page ads and 4 eighths. And this is what our team comes up with if you want us to make the ad for you. So here is where you can buy your ad. Here's where, if you already have an ad, you can upgrade, you can submit. This is a really important QR code. You can also find this by going to dpyearbook.org and hitting the Buy My Baby Ad tab, or go under Baby Ad Details, scroll down to our design options, and you'll submit from there. Again, this is super important if you haven't bought it. If you buy it tonight, by tomorrow, the form will be updated to with your senior's name, and that's when you'll be able to submit. So if you can submit tonight, that's great. If you can't and just order it, then tomorrow at noon is when you'll be available to submit. Okay. All right. That's fair.
Great job, sir. And yes, go ahead.
Also, we'll be over there with the other two business managers, Estella and Gracie. We're going to be here all night, and we will help you with ordering ads. Yes?
Ashley.
Yes. Yeah, so under your student, once you select your student's name, you'll be able to go from there. Yeah. Yeah, so the video yearbook is something that DP News puts together. I believe it's $50. It's at the end of the year. It includes prom, after prom, graduation, dances, and all of what has happened throughout the year. And it's a great thing that you can have because the yearbook needs to be submitted, again, 3 weeks from today. So anything past that, the video yearbook will include.
Yeah. Another round of applause. This is fantastic. Nice job, sir. And also another place to find that QR code and that link is, you guessed it, DPHS website under students senior class information of class of 2024. So it's all there. People go check that out on our website, including a lot of these dates that I'm about to share with you. So upcoming senior events, yes, we're getting closer and closer. Deadline for purchasing grad week activities ticket is April 16th. We'll be selling those we'll be selling those in the next couple of days. We'll have those live and up and ready to go. Grad speeches, we talked to our students about that today, submitting a grad speech between April 24th and May 8th. Prom is on May the 4th at the SB Historical Museum, followed by after prom, one of the greatest events that DP puts on. Our after prom is fantastic. And then our senior awards assembly will be May 29th in the EPAC by invitation only. And finally, graduation June 13th and grad night on June 14th. So all of those dates, once again, are on the website. Go to the website, upcoming events. That is the page you want. It is the live senior letter is what we call it. It essentially has this giant list of dates that says all of these things. It is a live document because things change, things happen, but most of those dates are set in stone moving forward. So, like I said, that is the reference that you want to check out for dates. All right, I think, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Graduation and grad night. So graduation is obviously the graduation ceremony that's on the football field, right? You walk across the stage. Grad night is the the celebration that the students go on that is involved in the grad week activities ticket. So the students would buy a ticket, they get on a bus, we're going to Disneyland, California Adventure this year for an amazing day at Disneyland, California Adventure, and a 2024 themed Disneyland where they shut down the park at 8 p.m. for just the seniors. It's a really fun night, and then they come back on the bus and arrive back here at like 5 in the morning the next day. So it's just a really fun celebration for our families, and I know Scotty he's dying to talk about it anyways. So, before we get to Scotty talking about all the fun things, grad week activities permission slip. It is going to be sent on a pair of squares. It says today. It didn't go out today. My bad. Okay. It'll go out in the next couple days, and the students will get it. It's not due until the week of, I had it up there. I don't see it now, but it's April. There it is at the bottom, April 24th. I know Scotty said the senior contract, like they basically signed it without signing, we're gonna hold them to it, absolutely. We need a physical copy of the grad week permission slip in order to take them to Disneyland. We get a physical copy from every student that is going to grad night, participating in the grad week activities, buys the grad week package ticket to go to grad night, so that we have that, so that we can take it with us to Disneyland. That way, if anything happens at Disney, we have that permission slip, we have that information with us. So Scotty brings this big old binder and carries it around with him. He doesn't carry it around, but we have it the whole time we're at Disneyland, okay? All right, here you go, Scotty.
With that permission slip, we don't take them early. They bring them on the 24th with them when they're signing up for their bus. So they're gonna be able to sign up for a bus on the 24th if they paid for their ticket with their friends. So if they're a group of 8, they're a group of 10, they're a group of 35, we get them lined up and they're gonna be online and they're gonna sign up for their bus. We're not gonna put them on a bus if they don't come with their permission slip that day. We are not, the kids are trying to drop off the permission slip, Mr. Perry's gonna send it out today, and like 15 kids are gonna come the next day and wanna give it to all of us. We're not taking their permission slip. They are bringing their permission slip with them on April 24th, and that's what they're using to sign up for the bus. If for some reason they're not gonna be there on April 24th, they have a baseball game, they have a track meet, and they're going somewhere else, and they don't want to lose out on being on Scotty G's bus. They're going to give Scotty G, their friend, hey, I want to be on bus 4 with you, I bought my ticket, here's my permission slip. Them having your son or daughter's permission slip will allow them to get signed up for the bus with their friends. Oh, we're out of town that week, how do we do it? Same thing. So again, we're going to work with you as best as possible, we just need to communicate, please don't bring it. The other big question that families ask, there are no tickets for graduation. You can bring as many people as you want to graduation. There's no limitation, there's no number, there are no tickets being sold ahead of time, there's no seat reservation. It is first come, first serve. We will open the gates at 4, and the ceremony starts at 5. Okay, anybody who comes in the night before and reserves a whole bunch of seats, we just take all of that stuff off, and we basically kind of throw it in the office and be like, I guess you can come pick up your stuff later. So there's no putting mats out and matching things up. You will, and I'll be honest, you will see that there are some seats reserved. We reserve seats for the district office that has certain people that are coming to be there. I will say, it is an advantage to be a staff person of a senior. If you are a staff person, a teacher or a staff, you and your family get to pick where you're sitting. So I try to be very transparent about that because people say, I thought there was no seating and there's all these names on these seats. That's who gets reserved seating. Reserved seating is the teachers and staff who work here or the district office who need seats to kind of be there. So other than that, it's first come, first serve. We do have handicap parking. We know that a lot of people are coming. We also do a live stream in the EPAC that I would really encourage that you maybe take advantage of, especially for anybody who's really elderly and has a hard time being out in the sun. It gets pretty hot out there. And so being in the cool EPAC and not having to walk all the way out to the field is really nice, so they can watch the whole thing in the EPAC. It's also live streamed so that they could watch it from home, or any family that's across the country that can't make it out there will be able to watch it live streamed. So we try and do our best, but again, as far as physical seats, everybody comes in, everybody has a place to go, and nobody's going to be denied coming in. So we have 2 things going on. We have prom, which is May 4th. That is part of the senior contract, okay? Prom is also part of the senior contract. The senior contract also counts for them if they're interested in going to another school's prom. So if they're on our no access list, they can't go to Santa Barbara's prom because we won't sign giving them permission. If their date, which might be an underclassman, is on the no access list, they can't bring that date to prom. So again, it's not just about them. And again, if they're trying to go to another school, we're going to deny them. If they have a friend in another school that's coming to us, if they're on their no access list, they're not coming with them to our prom.
just to explain the no access list, that's the 18 or more period truancies we talked about earlier.
I'm
It's
sorry,
like violating the senior contract.
Mike.
It's like violating the senior contract. So that's what we're talking about. When it says no access list, we're talking about absences, those 18 or more period truancies. That's how you'd end up on the no access list. It's not some like special list we put together, like, oh, you can't go, and you can't go, okay? It's all based on the senior contract.
And there is a little thing on their Minga. We've been doing those digital IDs, so if they pull up their Minga live, you're gonna see an ugly red box that's a no access. So they're gonna know, not just because they got warned, they're going to physically have it on their Minga, which is their school ID. There's a little button there that says no access, and if they have it, then they're on the list. They want to get off the list, the only person that can take them off the list is that man right there. So again, everybody has a story, he's the storyteller. So if you have a story, you're going to tell your story to Mr. Perry. Grad week. So we have graduation, obviously, that happens on the 13th. That is for your sons and daughters, and that is for all of you. But we have a whole bunch of activities that happen that week. So we have school on Monday, then starting on Tuesday, they're going to sign out. We have a senior bowling event at Bolero. We have a senior movie night, the night of one of the practices. We have a senior breakfast. The grad night ticket includes all of those activities as well as the Disney California Adventure. Very good, listen carefully. No one has bought this yet. So I know that there's a lot of people that feel like, no, I bought a whole bunch of stuff at the beginning of the year. I know I paid for this already. No one has bought this. No one has bought a prom ticket, and no one has bought a senior packet. You may have bought a senior bundle. That is 100% stuff that you bought from Yearbook. So it gets a little confusing, but no one has purchased the senior packet yet. It hasn't been released. It will be released with a price. So when you buy the senior packet, you are buying everything. It includes the food, the drinks, the entrance, all of those things to go to these events and activities. You can just buy a ticket for senior bowling the day of senior bowling. I'm not going on the senior thing. I decided I want to go bowl with my friends. I'm just going to pay for senior bowling. Or I just want to pay and just go to the movie night. Or I just want to pay and go to the breakfast. You can pay for those things individually as you show up at those events. But you must have turned in a permission slip. So the permission slip is, if you're going to do any senior activity at all, you have to have turned in the permission slip. Yes? What? The prices? The prices are coming. Prices are coming. So the prices are coming. So you're going to go online to buy this. A lot of people have asked, again, we're doing donations for the senior class. If you'd like to make a donation for the senior class, if you'd like to sponsor a specific senior or just any senior, we are in the process right now of collecting money. We don't want anyone to not go to any event. We don't want anyone to not have a cap and gown. We don't want anybody to not have a yearbook. Okay? But we don't know who needs unless you ask. We have a great staff. We try to make sure that every one of your sons and daughters has what we call a trusted adult on campus. We're assuming that would be the person that they trust enough to say, hey, I really want to go, but I can't afford it. It's hard to say those words. So we understand that. We handle it very discretionally. No one knows who got a scholarship and who didn't. There's not a scholarship line, oh, you go wait in that line for the scholarship line. Everybody's on the same list. Everybody's equitable. No one sees everything. You can ask for a partial scholarship. You can ask for just some things. You can ask for a full scholarship. We work with you based on what your family's need is. We don't want anyone to not go because of a cost. So please just make sure that you communicate with us. If you have the ability to help, please help. We made it easier this year because, like I said, you were buying your son a daughter's one, and you're like, there's going to be a box to be like, hey, I want to help another senior, or I want to help a specific senior. You can just do that directly, and we will help you take care of that. If you're not good with technology and you want to pay by check, just work that through me and Sienna. We will take your check and we will make sure everything is handled appropriately and correctly. We heard of a new thing that's out there a lot. A lot of you may work with companies and corporations that match donations. So we've gotten a couple donations that have come in where we got the donation and the company matched it. So if you do work for a company that does do matching donations, we would love you to participate with that, and we would love to be able to honor and kind of appreciate that company for helping. So again, lots of ways that you can help. Next, so I don't know if you know about the Assistance League. It's absolutely amazing. They basically run a dress boutique. I'm still working with them on running a tuxedo boutique. That hasn't happened quite yet. But they have amazing dresses. They are free. It's an actual boutique that they've created where the young women at our school can actually physically go there and shop and try on dresses, and everything is brand new and clean. They used to charge a cleaning fee. Now they don't charge any fee. You're basically borrowing a dress and they take care of everything. So some people return it clean, some people don't. All right, so we're getting now, so we talked about prom. Prom's gonna happen on May 4th. We are the only school that has after prom. We only have after prom because of all of you. Our parents are the ones who put on after prom. And it's an amazing event. This is my 34th year here at Dos Cobos High School. This will be my 34th after prom that I'm working. It is my favorite event of the year. Basically, it is a night where we can celebrate and keep your sons and daughters safe. So one of the things that makes it so successful is the prizes and donations that we get from our families. So right now I have my leadership students are going to be passing around some cans. If you brought some gift cards, if you have gift cards in your wallet, if you have a couple dollars that you can drop in the bucket, they're just going to kind of pass those around. If you can't make a donation today, they have QR codes in the back where you can make donations there. They also need people to help sign up. If you know people who have restaurants who will make donations, please talk to the table in the back. They want help with getting prizes. They want help with people working. Don't be afraid as a parent of a senior to sign up to help. The after prom party at Bolero has 500 students, okay? Your son or daughter is not going to see you unless they want to see you. So, don't let them convince you that you can't go. The door's open for after prom at 12. We need help before for setup, so if you just want to come before for setup, we need help. We also need help if you're one of those early risers who want to show up at 4 a.m. and help us clean it all up. We need help with cleanup. We need help with working the doors. If you like to deal, you get to play blackjack. But basically, the cost of after prom covers all the food, all the bowling, all the arcade games for the entire night. It is a 4-hour event. At the end of the night, we give away grand prizes that range almost $3,000 to $4,000 worth of prizes. Of those prizes, we have about $7,000 worth of prizes that we give out that night. I would say $5,000 worth of those prizes go directly to DP seniors. We really want to make sure that your seniors are the ones who benefit. So again, if you have a business, if you know someone who a hairstylist and wants to do some hair, wants to do makeup, wants to do nails, wants to give you a gift card to the restaurant, you have the access to the local community. In any way that you can please help us, that's what makes this event. Santa Barbara doesn't have it, San Marcos doesn't have it. We have it because our parents insist that it is the most important event that we have because it is the most dangerous night of the year. Prom night is the most dangerous night of the year. So if we can provide a safe place for them to be and have fun, that's what we want to do, and we're going to continue to do that. So again, sign-ups for all that are back there. Please help us in any way you can. There's also sign-ups for the senior breakfast. So we run a senior breakfast that is parent-run and operated. We have a senior parent back there that is looking for people who want to help decorate. We transform this entire room into like a tropical paradise. The students come the morning of graduation. They take the big 24 picture that we set up for them to take that you can buy. Then they come here and have breakfast, sign yearbooks, listen to music, watch the senior slideshow, just enjoy each other. So if that's something that you would like to do, Araceli Slickton is in the back there and she's asking for help, so please let her know. She's right there. She's the lead, but she needs help because we can't decorate this room by ourselves and we can't serve all these kids on our own. So please, sign up to help with the after prom, sign up to help with that, sign up for the breakfast. Let's see, there you go.
I had to tell him it was me. I was like, hey, it's my turn, okay? Anyways, we're almost done, I promise. So senior awards, I just wanted to share a quick note about senior awards. In the past, our senior awards have been on the football field. It's been a very large production, including a lot of our seniors. And the reason that it was that way is because we included things like our community service award and our pathway completers. For things like that, our community service and pathway completers, we are going to move in a different direction this year, in a different way of honoring those students that have gotten the community service award or the pathway or have completed a pathway. We will still be hosting a senior awards night. It is by invite only. It'll be on May 29th. And it's going to be just a smaller, more intimate production in the EPAC on May 29th. Like I said, we are still honoring many of our seniors. We are simply just we are like changing the way that we honor our community service and our pathway completers here at DP. So as you can see on the bottom, we still plan on sending out information regarding like what scholarships all seniors are receiving, their plans after high school. Natalie Douglas has already got a QR code and everything out to them already today where they can fill out their senior achievements. And so I just wanted to let you all know while you're in the room, the senior awards will look a little bit different today. And if you have questions about that, I'm happy to answer them after this presentation. You can always reach out to me, just let me know. I'm happy to hear from you about that. So anyways, I think we're almost there. Yes, lastly, senior information on the website. I'll say it again. I said it 10 times, I'll say it again. It's there. Senior class of information, or 2024 information on the website. Make sure you are reading your parent squares, see them, read them. Call me if you have questions. My extension is on there. Call me. All right, Scotty?
So hot information, the senior packet is officially live and on sale as of right now. It is $287 for everything, not including prom. Once again, it doesn't include prom. You buy your prom ticket separately, you buy your after prom ticket separately. The other thing I didn't say is some of you have students that may not really be into prom. You do not have to go to prom to go to after prom. So if you just want to go to after prom, because that sounds like a lot of fun to go to Bolero, but I'm not really into, I don't want to do the whole prom thing. You do not have to go to one to go to the other. You go to prom and not go to after prom. You go to after prom and not go to prom. You buy those tickets separately. The senior picnic is going to be $20. That includes the movie and the dinner. Bowling is going to be $25. And the breakfast is going to be $8. So those things are going to be individually bought. When you get the permission slip, those prices will be on the permission slip also. So please just kind of be aware of all those things. So now we're going to introduce our man of the hour who wants to tell you everything that you can get from Jostens. Here you go.
Good evening, everybody. I am not sensitive that they left me to the end. I truly believe save the best for last. So, just quickly, because I know it's been a long evening, long day, a lot of you work. In the slide, earlier in the slides, there was a great picture of the graduation ceremony. Remember, it was down here? And it was from the ceremony, and what were the kids wearing? Caps and gowns. So, thank you to the parents who stopped by, because there was some great conversations, and here's a couple of things that I learned. There's a little clarification that needs to take place. At the beginning of the year, the school sent out a little survey. They asked you about size of the caps and gowns, height and weight. That is for inventory purposes, so that we can get an idea of what's going to be used. You still must order your cap and gown. You have to purchase it. The QR code is to the Jostens website. When you log on, it's going to say, hello, Dos Pueblos High School, and then you're going to click on the graduation box. When you click on that box, it's going to change over, and you'll see graduation packages. Scroll down, and you can see a description of all graduation items, and then you click on that where it says shop all items, and it breaks it down into categories if you wish. So you can order packages, you can order individual items, you can do a combination, whatever you'd like. This is the time to order the cap and gown, custom graduation announcements, fun items that you see here showing off the seniors. This is the time to do that. The cap and gown will be sent to the school. So we will ship the caps and gowns to the school. They will pass them out at the end of May. When you go online, it's going to ask you for the student's height and the student's weight. That's what we need to give you the proper size gown. It's going to ask you to select blue or gold. It's your choice. Okay? And then you'll complete it, and you'll get a confirmation sent to the email that you fill out. So that's how you know you're done. It's very important. We have to make these according to the size of your students. So you need to order on time so we have them ready for May. So realistically, spring break. You should take care of this by spring break so that you know you're ready and you're done. If you order announcements, if you order any of the Jostens seniors wear, any of those things, they send that to your house. And that'll start taking place in March. So you want to order those items so we can get those sent, but the caps and gowns are passed out at the school. If you plan on celebrating your student with a class ring, Jostens has been making class rings since 1897. So for over 125 years, we've been celebrating graduations. Right now, there's a promotion for $75 off class rings. In my 33 years, Jostens has never offered a discount of $75. So take advantage of it. At the back table, we have the QR code if you're not able to do it. If you're interested in a class ring, we have a sizer so that you can take this home to size your finger for your student. You're going to go online, select jewelry, and then make all your choices. If you are old school like me, and you don't always like to look at things online, I have brochures at the table back here too so that you can look through, circle, make little notes to yourself as to what you want to order. Lastly, Jostens spends time every year with a team of people who say teenagers respond most to black and gray colors. That's just what they, so Jostens follows their lead. This year for the class of 2024, Jostens did something different. They said, we're going to try a hoodie in a different color. And so they designed this mocha crew. I see all the orders that are placed from all the schools that I work with. And I would say of the hoodies that are ordered, this mocha crew is about 75% of all orders. It's just made a great connection to this year's class. So I'll have that over there for you to see as well. Last thing, those of you who are Lakers fans, 24, you know what it means, and you know who it means. Jostens did something unique for the West Coast, and they created the Legacy jersey. This is available online as well. Okay, it's only available for the seniors on the West Coast of the United States. Order it, and then this is well they'll send to your house. If you want to see it, I'll have it over there. If you have any questions, you can see me over there. If you think you ordered, but you really don't know, see me over there, and I can look up the orders. But the most important thing is order early so that you have one ready. It's a very special day, graduation. They talked about all the things you can do and you can't do, but everything is about having your student get to the graduation ceremony, marching into pomps and circumstances in their caps and gowns with their classmates. High school graduation is a very special moment. It's about the class. They talked about college. I have 4 daughters who had 4 college graduations. College graduation is about the individual. It's about their story. But as a class, this is about your students being part of the class of 2024. So celebrate them by taking care of this early. Congratulations on making it for your students this far. Most importantly, have a wonderful senior year and be safe. If you have any questions, I'm over here. Thanks so much.
Absolutely, it's all about the class. So two more quick things. Dos Pueblos High School Foundation Roundup is coming up April 27th, 2024. The DP Foundation, I work with them directly. They're fantastic. They've raised a ton of money for our wellness center on campus, and that is what this fundraiser will go to. Again, this year is trying to fund those counselors and the supplies that we need for our new wellness center going in just like right across the way here, here at DP. So, like I said, come to the roundup if you want to buy tickets or check it out. There's a QR code there to scan. You can also check out the DP Foundation. Michelle Ringer's back there, right? Yes. Hey. Who else? Oh yeah, I remember. Okay, yes.
The A-team.
Yeah, the A-team. I like it. Anyways, go check them out. They're awesome. And check out this event. It's a great one. And yeah, we got a bunch of tables to check out.
All right, so rule of thumb. Everybody always asks, well, how do I know whether or not it's a sponsored event by DP or whether or not it's just a private event? Okay? If I'm not at the event, it's not a DP event. So you can just find out. Is Scotty going to be there? Because if it's not, then it's not a process event. I don't go to ditch stage and I don't do the senior prank. So just know that. Again, all the tables are here. You heard all of the information. It's a bummer on graduation when we're handing out leis and there's no lei for your son or daughter. I would really encourage you. It's a great fundraiser for the senior class, but they also all really want the lei. So if you haven't won your lei, please do that. You can do that back there today. Again, please sign up. Somebody corrected me. It's called the grad week package, not the senior package. So I just want to make sure everybody's looking for the same thing. It's the grad week package. That's what you're going to buy to get the bowling, this picnic, the movie night, and the breakfast along with the Disneyland. Again, reminder, they are graduates, and we told them this today. They are graduates when they go to Disneyland. We are in Orange County. If they misbehave at Disneyland, I will be leaving with the buses, and they will be staying with the Disneyland and the Orange County Police Department. Okay? They are no longer officially Dos Pueblos students, so they need to understand that. Disney does not play games. They have sniff dogs, they will pull your kids out of lines, they will pull your kids off of rides, and they will put them in the dungeon, and they will ruin my night at Disneyland. So if anybody knows about my love for Disney, they shouldn't ruin my night. So, please be aware of that again. Practice. Have fun, be safe. Have fun, be safe. Define what safe means. Super helpful. Sign up for the after prom. Sign up to help with senior breakfast. Be a part. Enjoy it. Our final statement that we love to make is, we are DP, and it's because we includes all of you. So thank you all so much for being here tonight. Thank you for all that your kids are doing. We love your kids. We love the class of 24. Enjoy, participate. Thank you so much for coming tonight.
Why did you buy so much stuff? I'm like, what?